I just think one of the biggest stories that we have to keep talking about is the fact that the United States government, via the executive branch, which we all know is run by dementia-ridden pudding boy, Kanks, as we call him, and he sent out a Russian asset, Steve Witkoff, and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who's all about how much can you pay me, to Russia. And they got dog-walked, shock-collared like you wouldn't believe. And now the United States of America is getting praised by Vladimir Putin and abandoning our allies. You guys have got to listen to this clip from James O'Brien in the UK commenting to his listeners about Trump and Putin. Play the clip.
New reality where Brexit is obviously a disaster and Donald Trump has essentially put the whole of Europe and specifically the United Kingdom in the crosshairs. He has, I'm going to say this slowly, he has sided with Vladimir Putin against the United Kingdom. The president of the United States of America has sided with Vladimir Putin against the United Kingdom, against the whole of Europe, in fact. But I don't know whether we're ready to speak as Europeans yet, as opposed to speaking simply as Brits. I know that it is sometimes hard to believe that there's any purpose or plan behind this at all. And I know that sometimes it can be quite dispiriting to find yourself searching for the rationale behind what is going on. But I don't think we can help ourselves, and I don't know what else we can do. How on earth do you solve a problem if you don't know what the problem is? How on earth do you discuss what Donald Trump is doing now without wondering why he is doing it? Can you answer that question? That's going to be the phone-in, by the way. I'll give you a quick heads up.
Okay. So I just think that is the way he said that is how I feel all of the time, Pumps. Let me say this slowly. The president of the United States is siding with Vladimir Putin. It is such a massive, massive story. And the buildup to this has been such a slow drip. It's kind of been like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and now it's happening, and we're all kind of desensitized to it. Because if you go back to Hillary Clinton running against him, she famously said, Putin wants a puppet in that debate. And Kanks is all like, I'm not a puppet. I'm not a puppet. He acted like an idiot. And everything has come true. And it's just so devastating because we are not in a position where we have to placate to Russia. We should be dog walking them with sanctions and helping our allies. And it's wild to be a part of a country where just one election has just completely annihilated the world order so much for the fragile ego and compromising past of this narcissistic bimbo pudding boy.
Well, and when he's talking about that and he says he has sided with Vladimir Putin against the United Kingdom, he sided with Vladimir Putin against the United States of Americans' intelligence. In Trump 1.0, this has been going on for a long time. He sided with Vladimir Putin when he welcomed him to Alaska and had the military down on their hands and knees. And I know that the question is out there, why is he doing this? Yes, he's a narcissist. Yes, he thinks they're friends. But at the end of the day, there have been reports for at least 30 years that he is compromised by Putin. Now we know about Bubbagate. We're learning more about Jeffrey Epstein and the type of material that has fallen into the hands of Vladimir Putin and Bibi Netanyahu. So it really, to me, whether it's money laundering, pictures of him blowing Bubba, it's no longer is he compromised? It is, what is the compromise? What is he being bribed with? Because we're way past, is he aligned with Vladimir Putin?
And I agree with James O'Brien there. You can't solve a problem unless you know the why. And, we need to know the why. And whenever we get to it, whether if he's dead, we need to find out why. We need this thing completely brought into the light. Is it just about money? Is he just compromised financially? Did the Russians bail him out? There's all of this sex shit with surrounding Trump and his history. He's always in some sort of sex scandal, whether it be Stormy Daniels or, walking into the dressing room of teenage girls changing in the Miss USA, adjudicated rapist, dead center of the Epstein files, and on and on. So that makes sense to me. But I think my message to Europeans and the Brits is it's really, we share your exasperation with this. We share your vision about parts of America that are obnoxious and arrogant and, very difficult to digest. But we also, I believe the majority of us, the majority of Americans in the United States, and I think the majority around 70%, this guy is not popular and he knows he's not popular. And the people surrounding him know he's not popular. So they're moving as quickly as they can to break it. And Vladimir Putin is moving as quickly as he can with the threats to get it broken. And we have less than a year before the midterms. And my ongoing fear is that they break this to where we don't get to those midterms. I'm really terrified about it. There's a part of me where I am an American born and bred, and I think, okay, we're going to get to the next election. The pendulum swings. It's going to be a blue tsunami. We're going to have accountability. He could get impeached, et cetera, et cetera. But then another part of me knows when they tell you who they are and they show you who they are, believe them. Believe them, believe the diabolical nature and machinations of this administration, because they will not allow for a Democratic Speaker of the House to be sworn in. I just don't think they will allow it because they're looking at prison, espionage, treason, major crimes. Moving along, here is the President of the United States yesterday in an interview. Play the clip.
That is pleased with the change in strategy from the United States is Russia. A Kremlin spokesperson called the strategy document a, quote, positive step and said the adjustments they're seeing are, quote, largely consistent with Moscow's vision. Do you think that's a good thing?
Well, I think he'd like to see a weak Europe. And so, to be honest with you, he's getting that. That has nothing to do with me.
But he thinks the changes that you're making and what you laid out in your vision for Europe is what Moscow wants to see.
I have no vision for Europe. All I want to see is a strong Europe.
I mean, this is it. This guy has no thought. He wants to say, okay, how can I prevent Vladimir Putin from embarrassing me or whatever he has on him? And how can I make myself and my friends a bunch of money? That's it. That's who this guy is. That's who people have their whole online identity, their whole pickup trucks decorated as. I've driven by houses in Oklahoma and it's got 95,000 Trump signs in it. That's the guy that they're doing it for. That guy who doesn't give a shit about anything.
Well, he gives a shit about money and himself. I mean, but here's the thing. Those same people that have the Trump flags and all of the Trump stickers on their car and all that shit, they're the same people that would say, we are for a strong foreign policy. The United States is the superior country, all this shit. And he is systematically, just in one fell swoop, just getting rid of it. These are all the same people that would have sided with Reagan about the Soviet Union. It's unbelievable. And for that, I think it took a lot of propaganda that Vladimir Putin and his cronies played the long game in dividing the United States. Because when I saw at a MAGA rally that somebody said, we'd rather have Vladimir Putin as our president than Biden, I thought, we're fucked. We are fucked. Listener, as someone who has an active online presence, it is very important to me that I protect my privacy and the privacy of my loved ones. And I do that through Delete Me. Delete Me makes it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online at a time when surveillance and data breaches are common enough to make everyone vulnerable. Data brokers make a profit off your data. Your data is a commodity, but now you can protect your privacy with Delete Me. And what's so great about Delete Me, it's not a one-time service. It continues to look at the internet to make sure that if your personal information is revealed, that it takes it down. So take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/IHIP and use promo code IHIP at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/IHIP and enter code IHIP at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/IHIP, code IHIP.
All right. And then I'm going to leave you all with this. It's just this type of idiotic bullshit every single day that has become normalized. And you have a sect of the American people that just go, I'm so sick of this MFer. And that's me and Pumps for sure. And then you have, I guess, an adoring 30% who just think videos that I'm about to show you are just, oh, that Trump, he's a real knee slapper. He's just such a riot. Here it is. Play the clip.
To be a very smart person. I have eyes, I have ears, I have knowledge, I have vast knowledge. I see what's happening. I get reports that you will never see.
Pumps.
I have eyes.
It's crazy.
I have ears. I have knowledge. You will
it's crazy.
What? It's. I'm not stunned by it because this is the norm. This is just how he rolls. And here's the thing: on the most ridiculous things that he says and the lies that he takes, I will flip over to Fox News or I'll go on to MAGA Truth Lie Social and I'll do that. And it's like, isn't he so funny? Or you can't take him seriously. He's just kidding. Like, he's not a fucking comedian. He's supposed to be
God's plan.
Free world. Huh?
Or it's God's plan. What they said.
There's no hope for them. There's just not.
I mean, it is so daunting to talk about this. And I will say this to all of the country club fiscal Republicans that like to go to Europe in the summer and you have a certain lifestyle that you're just allowed to vote for your income tax bracket only, and you don't care about other Americans, and you have weaponized your individuality and your narcissism in a way that you can shut out empathy for all of your fellow countrymen. What he's doing here with Vladimir Putin is so dangerous and so devastating. I'm not a foreign policy expert, but I've been reading quite a bit about it. And this is something that is a massive, massive mistake. He is aligning our country with war criminals and fascists. We are on the other side. Like, if you think of World War II, we're on the side with the bad guys right now. And it's something that is such a weird thing to experience as two women that are born, raised in America. We believed, and I know at times our foreign policy has not been great and has been somewhat dishonest, but we believed that we were on the good side. They're just out on the bad side and flexing, dunking on us. Yeah. All right. That's all we have. Pumps 1, 2, 3 book. Oh, great. Stocking stuffers. Life is a lazy Susan of shit sandwich. It's a great way to support Pumps and me. You also need to subscribe to our channel, like the video, drop us a comment, and we'll be back later with more news.